The Nintendo GameCube. Released in 2001, it was the successor to the Nintendo 64, and Nintendo's horse in the race of sixth-generation video game consoles. It was the underdog of that race. While the PlayStation 2 and Xbox were fighting for the gold, the GameCube, while not as successful, had its own unnameable charm that helped it stand out from the rest. Whether it was the console's unique lunchbox design that had a handle for some fun reason, its genius controller layout that fits the hand like a glove, or its plethora of unique games and experiences that you couldn't get anywhere else, there was a reason that this console has left such an impression on gamers' hearts, more so than the praise you'll see for its competitors. After some wacky experimentation with the Nintendo 64's controller design, Nintendo decided to go for something a bit more functional when creating the GameCube's controller, and the result was everything they wanted and more, as it not only is, to this day, one of the most comfortable controllers to wield and my personal favorite controller to use, but it also kept a lot of the personality that helped it stick out from the rest. Nintendo has never been afraid to try new things with their hardware, with the GameCube being no exception. This can't be said for the competition, however, as Sony would simply give the previous controller a slight upgrade and Microsoft decided to put buttons on a brick for their controller. It is safe to say that the risks Nintendo put into their controller this time around paid off, as it was praised by both casual and hardcore fans alike. For example, the GameCube controller is still, indisputably, the best way to play Super Smash Bros. Games 18 years after it's been released. 3 generations of controllers later, Nintendo still supports the GameCube controller for their newest consoles due to popular demand by fans. If that's not dedication to a product, then I don't know what is. There is one thing I have yet to mention, one thing that is the most important aspect of a video game console, and that, of course, is the games. As usual, Nintendo gave new entries to their already established series on the console, but not without trying new things in the process. Instead of launching the console with a Mario game like they did for their previous home consoles, Nintendo instead launched the GameCube with a Luigi game in the form of Luigi's Mansion, which is not a platformer that one would expect from previous Mario games, where instead of running and jumping, the player has to solve puzzles and explore their surroundings. Kirby also decided to take a break from platforming and instead had a racing game on the console in the form of Kirby Air Ride. Both of these games were received with praise by fans, despite being radically different than expectations based on previous entries in these series would lead them to believe. But they were both a breath of fresh air for these franchises. While no one would have been opposed to seeing more of what they had already come to love, except on a newer console in the form of direct sequels, these unique games really gave the GameCube an air of exclusivity about it. It was as if the console itself was saying, sure, you may think you know Mario Kart, but you've never experienced it like this before. And yeah, Mario jumping around in Super Mario 64 was cool, but how about doing all of that with a jetpack in Super Mario Sunshine? With the GameCube's titles, Nintendo really made the effort to create new, fresh experiences that would help it stand out not only from their competition, but help it stand out from everything else they had done before, and to this day is still unique in many regards. All of this only scrapes the surface of what really makes the Nintendo GameCube what it is. It wasn't just an era of Nintendo that came and went, but its legacy still lives on in modern gaming today. Anyone who missed out on playing this console owes it to themselves to experience all that it has to offer. It is sure to leave an impact, just as it has on myself, as well as the millions of other fans of the console. But that's all the time I've got. I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing on my Nintendo GameCube. Thank you for watching.